Niagara Falls. Read the story to learn about Niagara Falls. I didn't know there are two Niagara Falls, Ben said, shouting. His dad could hardly hear him over the roar of the falls. Cindy and Robert were with them. They stood on a platform high above the water. The mist from the falls made rainbows in the sun. The falls here is the American Falls, Ben's dad yelled back. The falls on the Canadian side is much bigger. It is called Horseshoe Falls because of its shape. Ben, Robert, and Cindy had flown in from Chicago with Mr. Wilkins that morning. They were going to tape science and travel sections for the show on location at Niagara Falls. They would meet Ling and the studio crew later in the afternoon. Cindy shouted, "It's hard to believe that all this water from both falls is just part of the water that could be here." "There's more water than this?" Robert asked, surprised. "Where is it?" "I read that before the water gets to the falls, part of it is sent into for huge tunnels," Cindy told him. "The tunnels lead to power plants. These plants use the force of the water to make electric power. What if the plants use too much water? The falls will become a trickle," said Ben. "That won't happen," Cindy said. "The power plants can take only a certain amount of water. That means there will be plenty of water. The falls will stay as beautiful as they are now." "Who uses all that power?" asked Ben. "People do," his dad answered. "Electricity is made from the power of the falls. It is used to light homes and run machines." Later, they met Ling and the crew, and they all went to see the Cave of the Winds together. They put on yellow raincoats and walked behind the falls. They stood behind a roaring curtain of water as James and Nancy began to tape. James and Nancy began to look upset. They worked harder to keep the spray off of the equipment than they did to tape the show. It was so loud that Cindy and Robert's report couldn't be heard over the noise. They just smiled and waved at the camera. Soon, the crew stopped taping to protect the camera from the mist. "I should have gotten a raincoat for the equipment," said James. "I never thought the water would be such a problem. This is the first time both the camera and I got soaking wet on a sunny day."